Welcome back, everyone. We're now in the lower division for the intermediate, or the lower bracket for the intermediate division. We will be watching the Blind Eye Society take on the Melbourne Midnights. The winner of this game will go on to face the Meerkat Collapse squad in the lower finals. Now, I am still Dextron from before. I am joined now by Gum Sauce. Man, how are you doing?
I am doing great. I am doing better than Jace. Bless his heart, going through COVID and food poisoning and still being able to cast a match. So I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I imagine both these teams are ready to go right now. Blind Eye Society actually getting here through a forfeit because Beach Ball forfeited their game. So maybe they're going to take that little, momentum and advantage they got from kind of being fresh to take on one of the better teams in the Melbourne Midnights.
Yeah, I mean it's exciting to see, and I'm curious how some of these players play. Going to play out. Essentially, I've seen a couple of players before on Melbourne Midnight, such as Epic Shock, Stratocaster, maybe Laser, and they're going against a really top tier team. And so I'm not sure about you, but what are your bets on? Who do you think is going to go forward?
I mean, I feel like it's hard to go against the Midnights here. They were the second best team in the regular season. They were, runners up in both of the mid-season tournaments. So I just feel like it's very hard to go against them. However, in our match before this, we had that same narrative, but instead of the second best team, it was the best team with the Meerkat Collapse squad. And they essentially went up against a team that is hotter than the surface of the sun right now in the Louisiana Lobsters. So at this point, I would not be surprised if we see the Blind Eye Society come out here and shock the world, essentially.
Yeah, I mean they'll be kind of the black sheep, or just like I guess something unexpected we can see. But I mean I'm not sure what to expect out of this match just yet. I'm still a little bit new to watching Blind Eye Society. I've only seen them once, and I have not seen Melbourne Midnights too often. So it looks like the first map is going to be Busan, which is seeming to be a very popular pick.
Same map that we saw in the first game. We're not seeing Lijiang Tower, and I'm kind of happy about that. I see it almost every time. But we're going to go into Sanctuary first here on Busan. Now, we saw in the first game, the Louisiana Lobsters come out and pretty much just deny a ball comp that the Meerkat Collapse come out with. I imagine we might see a ball comp come out here, especially as I believe the Midnights were another team that ran a ball comp, and we're already seeing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think the ball has so much possibilities here. I think that, however, on the other side, we're looking at a different interpretation of how to go for this point. We're looking at Blind Eye Facility Golo, which I've been keeping an eye on, running the infamous Roadhog here, trying to get some early picks, punish some of these players coming in. But we will see at least a couple matches, including the support teams, as well as Sabi and Dawes running a Sigma.
Yeah, Pi coming out on that Symmetra is an interesting one, but I imagine, it's just going to be a TP to get their team a little bit quicker to the point, and then swapping over to the Tracer instead. Kind of a mixed bag of heroes we're seeing here. One tank and one DPS different for each side. The supports are the same, and Golo getting kind of in a lot of trouble here. But Pi falls first. Epic, though, comes right back and finds Golo. And again, I just don't necessarily know who is in advantage with this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit tricky. What I saw was Golo trying to do his sneaky flank, and then didn't realize that they have a whole squad coming in to get that flank. So, I mean, honestly, this is something I've seen Golo do before, and there he's switching right to the ball after one failed attempt.
Yeah, Epic able to take care of Ash's ball, or Golo on that ball, already back to the point. No one's capped it yet. However, Melbourne is almost set, or over 75% of the way there, and they continue to find kill after kill here. And the point finally does go over them, and Golo, either he was stunned to death or just kind of accepted death with open arms there as four members of the Midnights collapsed on him.
Yeah, I mean, that was really decisive, and I think what it was is just the fact that they were able to split their team a little bit compared to what Blind Eye Society was doing, letting Golo run amok by himself and then get caught up and then just get basically killed really early and then be an old battery for them.
Yeah, now we're going to see the Blind Eye Society here come around the opposite side from where the Melbourne Midnights are. And again, Epic Shock and Pi kind of just having free reign on just absolutely bullying Golo, who went back to this hog only after one life on the ball.
Yeah, that's not really something I would do. I mean, you're just keep switching it over. I mean, I guess it's better than kind of sticking with one, but I mean, I would have stuck with one tank. Maybe there's some sunk cost fallacy in that, just deciding to stick with one tank and committing to it. But now you're really behind on ult economy, because we're looking at the side. We have 4 ults compared to 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, and 4. It's about to be 5 as Rocket picks up Pasty. Stratcaster's incredibly close to that rally as well, and now we're just starting to see the entirety of the Midnights just collapsing on the remaining members for the society here. But again, like, I just don't understand why Golo did that. Maybe it was to try to, you know, take care of some of those squishies, especially Pi on that Tracer. But I believe I saw him whiff on 2 straight hooks there trying to go after that Tracer.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where all the value is with the Roadhog, is to get those early picks, especially when you try and punish players, especially in the intermediate division, where everyone does kind of make mistakes once in a while.
Ashes popping the visor here early. Not necessarily a lot of targets for them to go after, so it's just going to be kind of a wasted ultimate, but Golo does find Epic Shock, and now Laser popping their own visor.
Yeah, but then this is Final Fight territory, so let's go, you know, and I think we're going to start to see how this develops, as fight develops.
Yeah, this entire map or point so far has been kind of weird, as Blind Eye Society has just not necessarily put up much of a fight on the point, and now it's basically just the Midnights kind of reacting with all their ultimates of their own.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the side on the other time. It looks like it's done. This is basically done. This was a little bit confusing to look at how they were playing and how, like, I don't know what to explain anymore.
I mean, we can talk about Golo's Hog pick to ball 1 life, then back to Hog, and just not being able to use an ultimate that entire time. And then it comes down to, again, Blind Eye Society used all their ultimates there in that last fight and did not really find any success from any of them.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're looking at the ultimate usage, and there is definitely not significantly, but there's a decent more amount of ult usage compared to on the side of Blind Eye Society. Actually, looks like Wesix hasn't even completed 1 ult cycle yet in that first round. So now we're going to Mecha base, where I think there's maybe a little bit better chance, because we're running some rush comps here.
Yeah, Blind Eye has to come out here and try to get something and go their way. Pi on the Symmetra here, just probably to get their team TP to the point a little bit faster than swapping back to the Tracer, as we see. However, we will have a team fight here on this. Actually, no. The Midnight's actually going for the high ground by point instead of the high ground by the drop down area.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a more smarter way to split your team depending on what kind of composition they're running. I mean, the fact that Epic Shopping is on ball, they have to have a split comp. They have to find some ways to pinch or move the enemy team into a position where they can actually get some picks off.
Yeah, and we're already seeing this. Laser takes care of Ashes right now. Rocket takes care of Golo. And already, Wisix does find Pi, though, so that is going to keep the Blind Eye in this for a moment. Just a moment, however, but Wisix is trying their best to keep their team in this one. However, Rocket finally takes care of them.
Yeah, I mean, Wisix, hats off to you getting 2 picks off. I mean, hopefully, if anyone regroups, you can get a good fight back in really early. But look at Ashes is grabbing in, getting 2 picks right after that.
Yeah, those 2 picks could be huge here, especially if they're able to find a third one. They know Pi is around here somewhere, and Ashes is trying their best to take care of them. But now we see Epic Shock come back in and take care of Ashes. Pi takes care of Pacey. They do allow a point flip. However, I don't think they necessarily care at this moment, as they are just picking up kill after kill. And Sat B is out of their mech, but they do find 2 kills right after that, though. However, the numbers advantage is so in the way of the Midnights at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy, because honestly, they took care of the healers on the side of Melbourne Midnights, and I thought, okay, that's easy. You hold on to the point. They have no healers, but they decided not to retreat. They decided to keep going even without the healers, and they got 2 picks really quickly, and then just let it tumble in.
Yeah, now let's see what the Midnights are able to do here. They have basically the entirety of the Blind Eye team kind of cornered there. Sat B does actually eat a pulse bomb from Pi, so that's a wasted ultimate. Now here comes the high noon from Ashes. Still kind of holding on to that, not able to fight anyone at the moment as Laser finds Golo.
Golo, there's a tip I can give you as Ryan. Don't press your shift button that often. I've seen 2 or 3 times where he's ran shift and then that he died from using shift, from just rushing in and then eating himself.
Yeah, talk about Bob coming in and carrying a fight there. Laser's Bob found 3, and now again 70% and counting for the Melbourne Midnights. Blind Eye Society just has no answer to what the Melbourne team is playing here.
That is the third ult so far that Epic Shock used as ball, and we have not seen a single ult yet from Wisex. And he's dead. I'm hoping that he can turn this around, I was gonna say, but now we're closing into Final Fight territory, and the team needs to reset.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know if we're gonna see an ult from Wisex. He might just, pop it off here just to use it. But I don't think, especially with the ultimates that the Midnights are gonna have, they would find necessarily anything with that Dragon Blade.
Honestly, I agree. Unless you enter in with Pufa running beat, but they have to use the defend up against Similar's ultimate from the side of Melbourne Midnights.
Yeah, and still Wisex holding on to that ultimate right now. Epic Shock finds Pacey. Here comes the Transcendence and the rally for the side of the Midnights. Shatter comes out as well. Here comes the Blade. Can they find anything with it? It has to be huge of them at this point, but no. Wisex falls to Epic Shock. Epic Shock is actually kind of cleaning up the Blind Eye team right now.
Yeah, Epic Shock is right now just doing a significant amount of work and just padded his stats right there with 4 mines in that entirety of those 2 maps.
Yeah, so Melbourne Midnights, or Mid, won that map handily, but I don't necessarily think there's a lot we can take from this map, in my opinion. It just seemed like Blind Eye Society was kind of all over the place with their comps and just not able to get anything going because Melbourne was killing them as fast as they were getting to that point.
Yeah, last time I saw Blind Eye Society, they were kind of doing the same thing. They were not really organized. It seemed like, the kind of casual comp you see in competitive when you're trying to stretch into Diamond or stretch into Masters. So to see them kind of play like this continually nearing at the end of the season is a little bit concerning. And as I said before in the previous cast yesterday, is the first map might not define how the rest of the series goes, but it does show some of the habits of the players and some of the teammates.
Yeah, it really does. Midnights look like an incredibly strong team. Maybe just control is not what Blind Eye Society is best with. So going into this next map type here, maybe they feel confident. I believe it's Escort, right? Is the next map type?
I believe so. And one thing I will say also is last time I did see Blind Eye Society and they were running Golo, it they were running Golo, and the last time I checked, he likes to run this on the back side a lot and just like sneak around corners, and that's one thing escort maps do tend to do is give you the ability to find little flanks. And what Golo hopes for, and what I've seen him do before, is his hope for the rest of his 5 team to keep him busy while he gets a hook, and then brings it down to a 5v5 or 6v5, and then kind of take over the map that way. So I'm hoping for a good turnaround for Blind Eye Society.
Yeah, so we know we're going to an escort map. I would imagine we're going to be seeing Kings Row, but maybe they shock us with an Eichenwald, a Hollywood, or a Blizzworld. I know I just named every hybrid map, but maybe they shock us with a map that is not Kings Row.
It would be. No, I don't think so. It's going to Kings Row. I'm guaranteeing you. And yeah, one way or the other, it's marketable. Everyone wants to see Kings Row shatters, and Go, I guarantee, is going to go on that Ryan and hopefully this time prove their point that they can still Ryan without pressing the shift button and getting demolished every time you press it.
Yeah, but it looks like even with the Blind Eye Society picking the map, it looks like that we're going to be seeing, I believe, Midnights here come out on attack first, which is a strategy I like doing, especially when a team dominates a first map, trying to carry that momentum into that second map.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess it's one way of putting it is that it gives you momentum, as you mentioned before, but also gives you confidence because when you're on attack, you are setting the pace of the fights you are trying to initiate. And Wisex, I think Blind Eye Society is on attack because Wisex is here, and I saw him Blind Eye as well as Golo. So I think they actually are the ones on attack.
All right, then I might be wrong.
They flipped around. Yeah, it looks like they flipped around the teams, but they not changed it. So the names of it. There we go.
So, I imagine we're going to probably see a Rush comp or a Brawl comp come out here. There's always the chance that we see an AC 130 comp come out, but I don't necessarily think, especially at this point in the playoffs, you would pull out a strat like that unless you absolutely think you're going to catch the other team off guard. And honestly, if I'm the Midnights, I might be considering doing that just because I feel like just with how dominant they were in that first map on Busan, they could afford essentially giving the Blind Eye Society a good amount of ult charge just to try out that one strat.
Yeah, it might not be worth it in the long run. When you look at the micro scale, of course, there's a lot of risk and a lot of reward, just like most investors on Wall Street bets. But realistically, I would want to play a little bit more of a stable composition. And I mean, I think I've seen this before with the side of Blind Eye Society, Golo on a Hog and Satbi on a Ryan. They're just using that Hog every opportunity they can.
Speaking of AC 130 comps, never mind. Nock was going to come out on the defense on a Bastion, but Wyzek's still sitting on it, just teasing us as everyone likes to do. Going over to the Widow now, going to try to land a nice headshot, give them a little bit of an advantage. Oh, nope, going to the Hanzo now. But again, kind of a normal comp other than Golo on that Hog. But again, we're seeing the Melbourne Midnights come out here with a ball comp.
Yeah, I mean, a ball comp is, I mean, it can be good in certain cases on defense if you're really trying to spread apart the team. If you can get your ball to distract, oh, that was really close for Wyzex. But there's opportunities for the ball to distract other team and split them apart really quickly, and that's why I think they're using on defense. But we just have to wait and find out and see how this Ryan and Hawk comp works out against it.
Yeah, Epic Shock just bowling his way through the side of the Blind Eye Society at the moment. Not able to find anyone, but Noct is getting a lot of damage put down, but Ash is getting the same, as Wyzex actually finds Stratocaster and knocked out first.
Ooh, I mean, that's one thing you gotta do. You make sure you don't get too close to the enemies when you're playing this Pharmacy on King's Row. There's so many opportunities for verticality that the enemies can take advantage of, and that's exactly what Blind Eye Society just did. Wyzex is murdering them.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, they just needed something to go their way here, Blind Eye Society did. And Wyzex finding 4 early kills, make it 5, stealing the kill from Sat B after the charge there on the Dawes, and Golo finds Nock. And I imagine we might be seeing a couple swaps come out here from the Melbourne Midnights.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Melbourne Midnights, they're going to start to adjust a little bit, but we're seeing Dawes on the Sigma. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what adjustments they're exactly doing on his defense. The streets is a little bit messy, but the ball is still very viable here.
Yeah, Epic Shock's gonna try to keep up with this ball, and honestly, going back to what we were hearing from the members of the Louisiana Lobsters, like they talked about ball comps and teams being very confident playing them, and it looks like the Melbourne Midnights are one of those teams. As Ashes pops their high noon, damage measures also coming out from the side of the Blind Eye Society, and only one person on the car right now is Golo finds Dawes here. And still, they could easily have pushed this card up a lot further, but they're allowing only one person to sit on it while the other 5 go up. Ashes falls to laser there, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is getting a little bit of a messier fight, but again, look how much free space that they're getting right now compared to what you have to do anyway on defense. You have to keep struggling to hold that space, and they're finally starting to stabilize.
High Noon comes out there from laser, not able to find anyone with it. Blind Eye Society is sitting on 3 ultimates right now. Those could be 3 big ultimates, but same will be said for the Midnights here by the time that the next team fight breaks out.
Exactly. I mean, the only difference is looking at the value of these abilities. So, for example, Golo was the whole hog against Epic Shock's mines. I mean, there's obviously Golo can take care of the mines with whole hog and then push enemies back.
Actually, Epic Shock pops their mines, but doesn't necessarily find anyone with it. Sat B pops their shatter as they find nothing with Epic Shock's able to find actually one with their minefield, and now the Midnights here just kind of collapsing in and cleaning up the Blind Eye Society.
I mean, I'm a little bit confused. I mean, that was their fight. That was Blind Eye Society's fight to take, and they only really used the shatter, so it wasn't too invested, but I'm not sure what they were exactly looking to do in that fight. Were they trying to eke out a couple more ultimates out from the side of the Melbourne Midnights, or were they actually trying to initialize and just didn't have a chance to intent?
I feel like they got really caught up there with Epic Shocks in the background there. But now, here comes the rally and the visor from the Midnights. The beat having to come out from Blind Eye to keep them alive here, as they do pick up 2 early kills. High Noon pop there by Ash is not finding anyone. They do find Knocked right after it. Laser finds Sat B. However, the Blind Eye Society continues to push this card at the moment as a little bit of a Cassidy duel comes out, and Laser able to find 2 with that High Noon on the Poofa and Ashes.
That looked like the fight that it was going to be Blind Eye Societies. I thought they had it in the bag, but why is it you got to start using your ultimate? You can't save it for next round. I mean, I want to see some ultimates. I want to see some bullets, because I see how Wyzex plays Genji, and he was incredible. So I would like to see it being used once in a while. I think the fact that they don't have a Nano Blade is what's making him a little bit more nervous to not play out that ultimate.
Yeah, Golo's still sitting on that whole hog as Ashes finds knocked here. Epic Shock will take care of Golo, and like I said, Golo's been holding on to that whole hog now for about a minute. Here comes a bomb from Dawes, not able to find anyone, but is able to get rid of some shields. Epic Shock charge or pile drives themselves into the ground there to take out the support line for Blind Eye. Laser finds Sat B and Epic Shock now trying to go after some of the remaining stragglers of the Blind Eye Society.
Yeah, but they have 4.5 minutes. They burned off 2.5 minutes on this defense right now. So, I mean, it's getting. I would be a little bit more worried now as Blind Eye Society. Like, am I using my ult rotation correctly? Is it the right move to keep running this Baptiste? Should we really give Wisex more space with a Nano Blade? Golo maybe should stop flanking. Golo, please, what are you doing?
I understand what Golo's trying to do, but everyone kind of knows what he's going for right now. He goes for the hook, not able to land it there onto Dawes. And we're going to see Blind Eye come back in with 4 ultimates. Minefield comes out from Epic Shock in the background. Noct finds Pasty, but Golo finds Noct.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing what value Golo can have, but he immediately just loses his ultimate.
Sat B finds Stratocaster, who just after they pop their rally, Transcendence coming out from Rocket now to keep their team in this fight, as it is not a lot of members. Wisex falls, who's still sitting on that blade right now. High Noon being popped here by Laser. I don't think they're going to find anyone with it. Wisex finds Dolls, and honestly, after a very, very weird and scrappy team fight, we should see Blind Eye here get this second point.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but Epic Shock is still in the back, and I think he's going to contest one last time.
The Epic Shock contesting here. We see Ashes pop their ultimate here, maybe just to try to take care of Epic Shocks or anyone who pokes their head around that corner. But right now, Epic Shock's doing a great job of just contesting this point. The damage rate comes out from Pasty, who's really only using it on their own. As Epic Shocks finally falls, we see Dawes now being the dedicated contester. Laser finds Sat, but Wisex finds Laser and Dawes.
You know, I mean, I absolutely was just thinking about that. I mean, that contest was definitely important for the side of Melbourne Midnights. They got a few picks out of that, so they can't do a full initial into this team. I mean, and they burned off more of the time clock. They only got a minute 30 left, based off of 4-minute 30-second time clock that they had when they took point A.
Yeah, and again, one thing I have to say, Wisex still sitting on that blade. He's the only person in this game to have not used an ultimate yet. Here comes a dragon from Noct, Bomb coming out from Dawes as well, and High Noon coming out from Laser. Only person able to find anything was Laser there. However, Dawes does find Golo with the crunch kill. And again, we just see the Midnights here clean up the remaining members of the Blind Eye team.
Now there's about 4 ults running on the side of the Blind Eye Society, as well as Ashes and Pufa coming close to their ultimates. This has to be the fight to take point C. There's no other excuse. You don't have any time left, and honestly, we need to see a Blade, Wisex, please.
Please, you've been holding on to it now for 5 minutes. Almost everyone else on their team has their ultimates ready. Here comes the Minefield from Epic Shock. It's actually a decent scatter area for Blind Eye to get through, but we do see Sat try to take care of some of them. Golo falls, Sat falls, Wisex falls as well. Now there's all 6 members of Blind Eye have their ultimates ready, and we still might not see some of them use them.
Guys, please, again, I mean, I know you heard it from your mom and your dad and from everyone else who plays Overwatch, including my grandma. Use your ults. You can't save them for the next round.
High Noon being popped here by Laser, who gets stunned out, but Rally coming out from Stratocaster to add some shields. The Shatter comes out from Sat B. Ashes pops their High Noon, but doesn't get to use it as Noct takes them out. Hoover uses their beat. Dawes takes care of Sat B. So already 3 members of the Blind Eye squad done and dusted for. Here comes the blade from Wisex. It has to be huge, but it does not find anything as Stratocaster's whip shot finds them instead.
Oh my goodness, that was a facepalm if I could ever describe it. There's the only tip I can say for Blind Eye Society is to use your ultimates. It's okay, you don't need to use all 6 to use them. You don't have to have all 6. I think that's the only thing you guys need to adjust, besides not giving Golo the ability to feed.
Initiating match.
Yeah, now all the Melbourne Midnights need to do is, get it almost 52 meters into that 3rd point. However, Blind Eye did do a good job of getting the first and the second point. So they still could win this map if they full hold on either of the first 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, they put up a really good fight, point A, and then, but the thing is that usually if you have a good defense on a Kings Row, you have a pretty decent offense. So there are times where I would like to see, like, I would love to see, like, a nice reversal where Melbourne Midnights aren't able to catch up and get the kind of not even time bank, but really it's space taken compared to what Blind Eye Society took care of. But I'm not hopeful for this. I mean, especially with the way they're playing. They're not playing at their best. I've seen them play better. I know these players, and it's kind of disheartening to see how they're performing right now. It's like, you know, they're kind of like how Leonardo DiCaprio looks at a woman once they're past the age of 25.
All right. Golo, though, not coming out on the Hog for the first time. Actually coming out on the Orisa. Interesting pick, in my opinion, because I feel like you would rather have a Rhine here instead. But going up with the Orisa, going to have them on the high ground. But they just allowed Nock to get 12 free ult charge there.
Yeah, it was a repositioning mistake, and I think that was not just any repositioning mistake, but a total mistake on the side of Blind Society to let him do that. Golo, I think, has too much free reign.
Epic Shock takes care of Ash's Dolls, takes care of Golo, and now the entirety of the Midnight just collapsing in on the remaining members of Blind Eye here.
Well, that was significantly quicker, and I thought that Blind Society had a pretty decent and quick attack, but they're going to run off with a lot of time bank.
Yeah, almost 6 minutes in that time bank for the Midnights here, and now it looks like Dawes is going to be the designated cart pusher while the remaining members of their team are going to go up and try to fight off the Blind Eye squad for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little odd having the Diva, because there's so much fight you can get as Diva being, and you just letting him be the card pusher, but I think that's kind of showing confidence, maybe a little bit of hubris on the side of Melbourne Midnights. But they're, look at that, they're getting so many picks. The support just murderized a couple of the teammates right there.
Yeah, I've never seen some supports be so aggressive, as Rocket was essentially the front line on that Zen.
Goodness sake, and honestly, usually it's the Zen who's sitting back on the cart, you know, but it's like, no, you know, Diva, you're gonna sit back, let me do the damage, let me take care of my team. And, you know, I don't think you need to have Diva's abilities such as the DM if, you know, you're killing the enemies before they can even throw anything out on them.
Yeah, Laser now being that front line, raining in a lot of damage and kind of forcing some members back, but there's only 2 members for Blind Eye at the moment who are close enough to contest. Now the remaining members of the team are coming back. Pacey does have their ultimate ready to go, and the next closest person after that is Wisex. Here comes Bob, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good, okay, as I say, there's a decent opportunity for Blind Society to hold this, but they really don't have a lot else to play with.
Yeah, here comes that damage matrix from Pacey as Nock finds Golo. Not after, though, he was able to find Rocket. The rally, though, coming out from Stratocaster. And we see Wisex pop his ultimate early this round. And Sat B actually eats a dragon there from Nock. Stratocaster, though, finds Wisex again. And so close, but yet so very far are the Midnights from capping this point. However, they're finding picks right now and should be able to actually cap this.
Goodness sake, knocked this guy 3K right then and there. And honestly, like, Stratocaster, I think, is on, like, Wisex's duty, keeping an eye on whenever he uses Blade, because that was both times in Kings Row that Wisex was knocked out by Stratocaster.
I think Stratocaster also took him out on Busan as well.
Yes. Stratocaster's like, that's the duty. You're going to be stuck on Wisex. So that might have been the play, honestly, because Wisex has not, unfortunately, been able to get any value off of these blades.
Ashes does have that pulse bomb ready, but we see another eat come out, this time from Dawes. Bomb coming out from Dawes does find Poofa. Ashes, though, does find Nock, keeping this fight an even fight at the moment. However, less than 7 meters to go now for the Midnights. Minefield comes out from Epic Shocks, and Wisex, the last line of defense for the Blind Eye Society, and Stratocaster Dawes are going after them. We see a Nano come out onto them, but he's not able to touch, and the Melbourne Midnights are going to game point.
Goodness sake, I mean, this is running a lot quicker than I expected, and I mean, my dinner's not even done cooking yet. I mean, this is running so fast. I'm not sure if this might be a league record, depending on how fast we go to the third map, because last time this happened, I think the fastest was done on, I think it was intermediate with, oh gosh, I don't even remember, but they basically ran through the 3 maps so quickly, it was considered the fastest in the league.
Yeah. But we're gonna go into what could be the last map. It does seem that there are some members of the Blind Eye Society that are at least showing that they're mad with some of their teammates in the game chat, but that could be just to try to throw off the Melbourne Midnights here.
I mean, that might be true, or they could be genuinely a little bit salty. Because I would be a little upset if I knew some of my teammates were not playing at the best potential, or even myself. So maybe they're a little hard on themselves. Maybe they're memeing a little bit. I just can't tell based off the team.
But let me ask you this. We've seen now two maps, and you talked about after the first map that the first map doesn't necessarily define a team. After that second map, what do you think Blind Eye Society needs to do here to kind of improve in this third map and take it?
They need a whole mental mindset like readjustment, because and also strategy adjustment, because Golo has been running on the maps, wrecking havoc sometimes, but also just getting caught out. Because I think at this point Melbourne Midnights understand who Blind Eye Society is, or at least who Golo is, running the hog on the side of the streets. And I think what they need to do is just play as a 6-man team, and maybe get Golo ringed in a little bit to play with the rest of the team, so that way they can actually get some progress done on points.
Yeah, they need to do. I fully agree with you there, but at the same time, I feel like just the Blind Eye Society is going up against a really tough team here in the second round of the lower bracket. Like, I did not. I would have imagined they did not expect to be running into the number two overall seed after their first game in the lower division, which was a forfeit by beach ball.
Mhm.
But you do not expect to be going up against the number two overall seed this fast in a tournament.
Yeah, and it's a little bit unfortunate, but again, it's part of the play. I mean, if you are going to be a good team, you're going to be able to knock out the second seed. But this kind of goes to show there's still an opportunity also for a reverse sweep, but unfortunately, I'm not really counting on that to happen. Just the way that Melbourne Minnows have been playing, basically as a team, while Blind Eye Society has been playing like ranked comp with 6 randoms. It's a little bit trickier to, and a little bit, I guess, more predictable to not expect them to do a reverse sweep at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, we still don't know what the next map is. Again, Blind Eye Society will be picking, Melbourne Midnights will be picking the side. But I just don't necessarily know what the Blind Eye Society's best comp to go into this next map would be. Because it doesn't seem like the Midnights necessarily care. They're always gonna come out on that ball comp.
Yeah, and the thing is, they can keep playing that ball comp because Golo and in company keep kind of playing this really weird comps of like, hey, let me just keep running around with this hog. Let me just do these more individualistic plays. And the thing is that Wisex needs support, and I've seen Wisex play before. And whenever he gets a nano blade, he kind of just destroys the enemy team with it. I mean, I'm not sure what else to say to Blind Eye Society except for just group up a little bit more, and then hope that Melbourne Midnights have a couple cracks in their shield that you can take advantage of.
I mean, I won't say it's impossible that the Blind Eye Society can come back. Anything is possible here, but they need to pick up this. They need to pick up one map if they want to give themselves a chance here.
Mhm.
They haven't necessarily shown us a lot through those first two maps. They did do a good job on their attack on Kings Row. However, when it came to their defense, it just seemed like they were outclassed almost every possible way. But I will say a reverse sweep, it's always possible to happen.
Mhm.
However, they need to find that first map to start it here.
Yeah, and this will have to be it because again, you can try once, lose the map, fine, 0-0. You can try twice, now you're gonna start to sweat a little bit more. But now this is the third map, and this is match point. There's not a lot of opportunities left for Blinded Society to turn this around unless they have a really good attack or a really good defense, and then make the best out of it. So I'm hoping that they learned a couple lessons. Now they adjusted. Now they've been playing 2 maps together against Melbourne Midnights, but um, they just have to react better, and they have to switch better, and they have to, I don't know, change some strategies in their mentals.
Yeah, they need to do something here. But I still don't. I have a feeling that those comments that the some of the Blind Eye Society squad was saying are actually true. Hell, even during that last match, we saw Golo just type in chat that this game sucks. So I feel like Golo's a little bit down on himself and his team's play right now. But if that was just a joke or a meme to try to get the Midnights to maybe buy into the fact that they are kind of infighting within the team, maybe it works out on the third map because it sure as hell did not work out on Kings Row.
Yeah, definitely did not. But I honestly, I kind of agree with Golo. This game does kind of suck. I mean, we're waiting for Overwatch 2 already. And again, I think I mentioned before several times that right now all the teams are interpreting the meta their own special way just because they can't really see or they can't copy what the professionals are doing anymore. But at the same turn, there still has to be some form, some sort of like solid structure to base your comp around. And I'm not sure if Blender Society has caught wind of that, or I'm not sure. I mean, it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah, it is very confusing at this point. Looks like they have finally been told what maps are in the map pool. We will be going to just a straight push map or escort map. So those maps they have to choose from, as I again will basically name every escort map are Rialto, Dorado, Gibraltar, or Route 66. But again, I just don't know which one plays best into their comp.
Mhm.
I have a feeling Blind Society should be picking which one is best to be, or which is the worst one to play ball on, because that seems to be what the Midnights are going to be playing no matter what.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, that Escort is such a viable map for kind of ball comps because you can literally let the ball run wild, run these kind of little flanks, or even push him off of like defensive positioning, or even when you're on offense. I mean, the ball always is sneaking around. The way that Epic Shock has been playing has been pretty incredible. And the fact that he's getting so much value with either the mines or just throwing the enemy team off or taking care of the supports on the back line. I'm not sure if there's a specific map for them to choose that's going to be a quote unquote disadvantage for Epic Shock and Ball and the team of Melbourne Midnights.
Yeah, but as we still kind of wait for them to pick it, because at this point, I honestly just believe the Blind Eye team is purposely taking their time here. Uh, I'm trying to find any like positive here from the Blind Eye. Uh, I mean, I don't want to just talk about negatives, but
Mhm.
it seems like honestly, I feel like the one bright spot for a Blind Eye is actually Ashes. Ashes
Mhm.
that came out and constantly been picking up kill after kill. They've been finding some kills with their ultimates as well, which helped them a lot there on Kings Row, especially on their offensive push. They just weren't able to get really anything going on their defensive one, but I don't think that's their fault. I just think the Midnight's push was just so aggressive that they couldn't necessarily have a lot of time to do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, when it comes to Kings Row and a lot of these comps, speed does indeed kill. So when you're rushing that fast, running that fast, there's not a lot of time for people on defense to kind of analyze and see what's going on, especially when they lose one of the players that they're expecting to support them. So it looks like we're walking into Dorado,
Traveling to Dorado.
and I'm hoping that they have a couple
Initiating
maybe
match.
tricks, aces up their sleeves. Last time I saw someone with aces up their sleeves, where they were wearing sunglasses, they had a mirror tint on it, and we saw all their cards. So I'm hoping they have something a little bit more unique for Dorado rather than letting a hog run around and sneak up and get a kill, because it hasn't worked for the past two maps.
Yeah, but this is a map that I feel like it fits right into Golo's playstyle on that hog. Actually, it looks like set. Oh my god,
Uh-oh. Did they do a no-no? They might have done a no-no.
they might have
Gullo
done a
on
no-no.
Lucio and Satbi on the hog, while Ashes is on the... I'm in...
Ashes is now on a tank. Pufa is now on a DPS. Golo has now swapped places to go to a support. Uh, this is a lineup coming out here, but maybe this is what they need, even though it's I think against the rules.
A mental reset, but I mean, maybe this was the ace up the sleeve, switch everyone's roles. But it looks like we're running through with it. No one has paused, so
Attackers incoming.
okay.
We're gonna see something happen here, but again, it's coming out of the gate. Almost 3 members of that Blind Eye squad get chunked for half their health, and Sappy is really the only one on the cart pushing it right now.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the actual strategy is because Gullo and Ashley just got the demolished, deleted, squished into a really flat pancake.
Dogs punches Poopa to death there, and essentially that ends this first little attacking phase here from Blind Eye.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the comp is or the play is anymore because of the whole swap around. Gullo, you have 9%, 10% of ult charge and going to the Mercy. So it looks like they're forming some sort of comp now finally. After spending 45 seconds.
But that comp won't last very long as Golo falls on that Mercy almost immediately. Rocket finds Poofa. Wizek's trying to find anyone with any damage right now, as is incredibly close to death. And Sat B is now doing their impression of Golo by sneaking around the back on their own. The cart has only moved about 20 meters, and now we're finally starting to see someone push the cart. However, they do not live long enough to get it past where they currently have gotten it to.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, just a case of BM or just not respecting this match, because they're like, hey, we lost 2, we don't want to go again. I mean, we were hoping for some like opportunity for a good reverse sweep, or at least, you know, keep the series going. But now we're finally seeing some damage being done on the side of Blind Society.
Yeah, Sappy actually picking up 2 kills here, but Bob coming out for Laser is providing some damage, and Laser finds 1 with the dynamite, 1 with Bob. Fruit finds 1 with their pulse bomb, so essentially ending that push there for the moment. However, with Laser's Bob and Fruit falling, we're starting to see Blind Eye here actually push the car a little bit.
Yeah, finally, with 2 minutes left, there's still plenty of opportunities for them to get point A, but I just don't really understand what the whole switch of the roles were about. I mean, because now Ashley just died immediately after using mines.
They have pushed up to Arshid, and Ashid actually does find 1 with the mines onto Fruit, who subbed in. Now the mines coming out from Epic Shock in that backline. It's going to be hard now for a lot of Blind Eye Society to get to the cart. Ashes is really the only one that can get to it, and now that some of the mines are gone, we're starting to see some other members of Blind Eye get there. Sappy actually finds a hook there onto Laser, and they do have their visor or the whole hog ready to go. Wizek actually finds that headshot there onto Rocket with help from the visor. Here comes the grab on Flux from Dawes, finds 4. The Coalescent has to be popped here by Pacey to keep them alive.
Okay, so man, looks like now they finally gained some momentum, and this is important. But what the heck is this whole play? I mean, what is going on?
We were just told they have spun a wheel. We have entered the Twilight Zone right now, everyone. Welcome to League Zero. This is the intermediate lower bracket semifinals of Melbourne Midnights versus the Blind Eye Society. We're seeing Laser and Epic Shock for the Midnights here pick up kills and kind of stop the Midnights from doing anything. Sappy does pick up Rocket though. However, 30 seconds left to go. They have a rally and a whole hog at their disposal. Ashes is close to a minefield, so this first point is still very much capable for the Blind Eye Society.
Yeah, as long as you get your tanks on point as quick as possible. But Sappy is almost dead, just trying to walk in through the arches there.
Rally popped here early by Golo as 2 members of the Blind Eye Society fall. Pacey able to find Laser. That is a nice pick for them if they want to stay in this fight. Epic Shock though finds Golo. Fruit finds Poofa. Sat B falls. No one's able to get back to this cart for Blind Eye Society. And the Melbourne Midnights only need to push the cart 75 meters to lock themselves a spot in the lower bracket finals.
Yeah, I mean, this is rough. I mean, but to be fair, if Melbourne Midnights can hold the defense, so could possibly Blind Eye Society. But right now, I'm kind of disappointed, like Leonardo DiCaprio when his girlfriend turns 25. I just don't understand. There has to be a different motivation towards this. I mean, they roll the dice, they threw a wheel to see who plays what on the side of Blind Eye Society, and I'm not sure if this is entertaining or just trolling at this point.
I respect you for using the Leonardo DiCaprio joke for the second time.
Yeah.
But honestly, if you ask me, I feel like it's more of their trolling at this point. I feel like they kind of given up on this match. But now it's only up to Midnights here to just push the cart 75 meters. We are seeing something of a comp come out for the Blind Eye here. Again, though, we're seeing what I honestly expected to see for the Midnights come out here on attack. Maybe not the Roadhog or the Symmetra, but kind of something I expected to see from them here.
Yeah, they're playing a little bit easier. Now they know they don't have much far to go, 74, almost 75 meters to go on the point. And the fact that we see, again, they did a little roll of the dice to see who plays what. Golo on DPS now, Kufa on the signature Sigma.
Yeah, the TP gets almost all 6 members of the Midnights onto that high ground here, as they realize there's not a lot of people up on this high ground. Laser is going after Poopa though, and they are able to find him. Golo finds Rocket though to kind of even things out for the moment, and Wisex finds Laser. The Midnight or the Blind Society actually doing a good job here, holding up the Midnights for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, on the micro scale, absolutely, they got a fight win. But we gotta look at the macro. They still don't have a lot of space to work with. They have 3 minutes to hold 74-ish meters.
Yeah, but you know, they are finding kills here, and they do have a giant ult advantage. Epic Shock still finds Ashes. That is a good kill for the Midnights here, but Sat B finds Fruit, and Laser in a very, very dangerous position right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding this by the skin of the teeth, but they're also, I think, oh, there's a pause.
Don't know what the pause is for, but we are seeing the Midnights here finally get the cart pushed a little bit. They finally have a couple picks going their way, so they're able to push it now. Almost 22 meters to that 74, about basically 75 that they need to get. But again, we do see the Blind Eye team have, you know, ultimate advantages.
Yeah, Blind Eye Society is running close. Gullo almost has the Blade Ashes with the mines, as well as Pasty. Once they can come back onto point, have 3/4 of the way to their ultimate too. So there's some opportunities to play against what we're seeing. Really, no ults on the side of Melbourne Midnights yet, but again, it's a matter of the fact that they have 3 minutes to build ults, and if they just win one or two more fights, they're done, and this is a series end.
Yeah, looks like we're about to get restarted here. And like you said, essentially one or two good team fight wins here for the Midnights, and that probably will lock them into the lower bracket finals. But if the Blind Eye team can get their ultimates here and find picks, they could easily hold this cart a little bit longer and maybe win this map.
Yeah, uh, okay, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, honestly. I mean, I don't have any expectations anymore at this point. I feel like a disappointed father. I mean, I just don't know what's going on. We're saying Ashes deleted.
Yeah, Dawes takes care of Ashes, but they are holding it here at Archer, which is a very good choke point. Poofa falls, but Stratcaster falls for the Midnights. However, 2 straight kills for them, and Dawes popping the whole hog to find Golo, and now probably going after Sat B. Laser taking care of them, and Laser actually swapping over to the Doomfist. Looks like they want to get out of here a lot faster than what everyone else wants to.
Yeah, and that was one quick fight, and that was it. That's game. That's match point 3-0. Melbourne Midnights. They kind of took the W in a very, very strong fashion.
Well, I would just say they were dominant throughout this entire series, and then in the third game, as we heard, the Blind Eyes squad did kind of spin a wheel to figure out what roles they were going to be playing here. Like we kind of said, it's not. They essentially kind of gave up and just decided to troll a little bit here on that last map. But again, let's talk about the next matchup we're going to see in this lower bracket here in the intermediate division. Essentially, a matchup that I think me and you casted the grand finals for the second midseason tournament, where we
Yeah.
kind of both expected these two teams that we're seeing in this lower bracket finals to be that grand finals. And now we're only going to get to see one of those teams move on.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary. Just seeing how Melbourne Midnights is going to continue on, and now we have the two like the more expected teams we want to see have to be cut out. It's a little bit saddening, but it's just part of how the competition in this tournament works. What I would like to see, though, I mean, I'm not sure if there's anything else I would like to see, honestly, except for just see how the rest of the games play out. There's so much to look forward to still, even when we're knocking some teams out this early. But Melbourne Midnights, they showed off a pretty great play, pretty great game, but they didn't also have too much to show off going against Blind Eye Society.
Yeah, so I don't really think there's a lot that, you know, a team like the Louisiana Lobsters can take, or yeah, it is Louisiana Lobsters, right?
Mhm. I
Uh,
believe so.
no, it was yeah, whoever they're playing in the finals here. There's not a lot you can really look at this game and say, in my opinion, like, oh, you know, we can beat them here, here, and here, because I just
Mhm.
think the Melbourne Midnights outclass the Blind Eye Society every possible way in this matchup.
hmm Yeah, I mean, there wasn't a moment where I was like, "Oh yeah, right, great, here we go, Blind Society is turning it around," and I'm a little bit unfortunate about that, and it's a little saddening to see, especially when we're coming to a tournament and then they decide, for the third map, we're just gonna roll some dice and spin the wheel and see who plays what. I would like to see maybe a little more professionalism next time, but I mean, we're kind of the kind of fun one.
Yeah, it sounds like we might have someone from the Midnights here to interview. Yo, welcome, Epic Shock from the Melbourne Midnights. Congratulations on making it to the lower bracket finals here. Uh, Overall, a good game from you guys tonight. It was a little bit of a one-sided affair, though, I have to say.
Um, yeah, yeah, it was not expected to be a one-sided affair. I also have my good friend Monty here from the team.
Yeah.
Howdy.
Nice.
So,
Yep.
He's an extension of myself.
okay, perfect. So, man, when it came to the actual game time, was there any preparation you were thinking about Blind Eye Society, or have you seen them enough to go, oh, we know how they play. We know Gola Alexa run around the hog and sneak up behind us.
Uh,
Uh, Here, me personally, I was making a Tranquility Week 1 montage. So that was kind of my preparation. I was looking at other people's clips and like said, "Hey, what if that was me?" And then recreated it.
yeah, the montage goes hard.
Yeah.
But
You
you
guys should
guys are
watch it.
will do, man. But you guys are now going up against the Meerkat Collapse squad in the lower bracket finals. A game that both me and Gumsauce here both kind of thought was going to be the grand finals. However, we're seeing you guys in the lower finals. Does this make it more important for you guys that to beat them so you guys are in that grand final match?
Yeah, for sure. I really wanna, I wanna win the grand finals, beat Meerkat, and then beat Louisiana Lobsters. But we'll see what happens. We will
Yeah,
for sure prepare though.
I've like always wanted to beat Meerkat since like week 3. And so if we can do that in lower bracket, that'd be pretty cool and get into grand finals. So
Okay. And that's easy enough. So, just have a cool question about the last map we played here. What was your thoughts when you started seeing them kind of decide the Blind Society start switching roles? What was going on in your mind?
Oh,
that's
this
not
one, the
allowed, says the rule book.
we were thinking about pulling out the rule book. Honestly, it was,
Yeah.
Mhm.
ooh, but we decided we might be able to win it, so we decided to not pull out the rule book. We just, yeah,
Okay.
it was a tough
Yeah,
choice, but yeah, it is how it is.
Yeah.
yeah, but again, overall, a great matchup from you guys tonight. Honestly, I feel like domination or dominating is to politely put your guys' matchup over the Blind Eye Society here tonight.
Hmm.
Gumsauce, do you have any more questions before we let them go?
I think we're pretty good. I mean, it was pretty straightforward. I'm not sure. Do you have anything you want to say to your fans or to your team or to the Meerkats when you're coming up?
I love my team.
Follow me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Twitter handle, please.
Money_OW.
Perfect.
All right. So that was Monty and Epic Shocks from the Melbourne Midnights. In a dominant performance over the Blind Eye Society, they will advance to the lower bracket finals against the
Melbourne Midnights actually do play against a very strong opponent. Like I said, I was a little bit disappointed at how this kind of went out, but I mean, it was still a great show. So I look forward to seeing how the rest of the match goes and how the rest of the tournament runs. How about yourself?
Yeah, I look forward to that. But I believe that will do it for us here tonight at League Zero. Make sure to tune back in tomorrow night. We will be watching the advanced playoffs go on, as I believe will be Redville versus Trolley Gang or Trolley Gang as our first matchup tomorrow, followed up by the winners of the two games in that lower bracket to follow.
Absolutely. So keep an eye on that. And if anything else, I'm just going to be signing off. This is Gum Sauce, and we have Dexatron here.
And again, shout out to our producer. Uh, what's your actual name?
Knock
Knock on wood. I'm sorry, your name is almost Christmas in the Discord. Shout out to our producer, Knock on Wood, for producing this tonight. And again, make sure to tune back in tomorrow night for the advanced division playoffs.
Peace.